Okay, guys, in this training, we're going to be talking about how to pitch like a therapist, not a motor mouth. In other words, how to stay on outcome brain and not feature brain through your presentation or sales process. So, as a new consultant, you can get caught up with using fancy marketing and advertising jargon to make yourself seem smarter or come off intelligent on your sales calls. What I mean by this is that you never sell a $500,000 Rolls Royce or Ferrari by talking about the metal used for the engine components and the specific screws that hold the suspension together, or if the paint on the car is from a specific company that uses gold components and material as a specific compound for the paint. The reality of all purchase-based decisions do rely on features in most cases, but 99.9% is on the desired outcome and experience of the service and or product. Let's face the facts. Someone who's going to be purchasing $1 million vehicle is not focused on how the car will make them, again, feel on the, on external points, but on how they make it, how the actual experience makes them feel on the inside, and how it actually makes them feel in front of clients, and how it actually grows their business, and other external components of their life. They will only calculate the weight of the decision solely based on how much they desire the way it will enhance their entire experience or standard of living. Let's bring this back to the logic of the world we live in today, because I know most of the people listening to this are not selling Rolls Royces or Ferraris for a living. So if we're going to make a simple example out of this, whether you're selling a coaching program, agency services, or a course creator, I'll break down exactly what you need to refrain from doing in any situation that requires your prospect from, again, focusing on the bells and whistles of your systems and processes that you create for your customer. You need to be focusing on keeping them on outcome-driven state and completely refrain yourself from, feature-based pitching. Let me give you a direct example of how I would relate this back to my done-for-you service at my real estate marketing agency that I currently run and operate right now. So the main outcome that I drive for these real estate professionals is a completely automated booking system with buyers and sellers that are completely qualified and recorded and booked directly into your team and or for your sales team. And if you go to, again, in some cases, if you go to through a process and you're pitching someone and you're going on a feature-based pitch, you don't want to be pitching it this way, which is explaining in these terms, which is, we run a comprehensive buyer and seller Facebook advertising strategy that will then generate leads, which will be connected to our in-house CRM system that will then trigger and set off nurturing sequences attached to your Zapier and Twilio that will then trigger a bunch of comprehensive drip campaigns, which will then create a workflow for your in-house sales agents to do outbound phone calls every day on a daily basis so they can actually book in qualified seller and buyer appointments into your calendar. Now, with this entire system broken down to almost a T, I would still like to point out the fact that there are a lot of missing features and key systems that are left out with the way I currently pitched that entire service. And, again, as a professional, you need to really ensure that you're staying out of getting clients to think about all of the complexities and the useless information that really doesn't matter to them if they're just focused on outcome-driven results. Again, people that buy solutions aren't buying all of the internal components of what that solution provides. They simply want to know how good you are driving the main outcome and getting them the results that they need. And again, if you were to go back onto the more complex version of pitching the service, you're going to be opening up random features and essentially opening up a can of worms that will be putting the client in a loop of information that they don't need to actually visit. When you do this, this will distract and also complicate the entire sales process and make it very difficult for you to actually get clients to make a decision based off of their current circumstances. Shifting the focus to a result/outcome driven conversation will directly show your prospect that the end outcome of having 7 to 12 additional booked qualified appointments with buyers and sellers is what we do best, and how that would ultimately serve them will have them focusing on the compound effect and the results of how their business is going to be growing on a revenue standpoint. Keep it simple, folks. Just keep your conversations geared towards the results you've driven for your clients and the direct outcome to make sure your prospects are clear on understanding the future benefits of working with you the moment that they onboard. This will guarantee to increase rapport and also conversions for your online business. And remember, no one wants to be pitched like a racehorse. Take your time and let clients explain away their issues, and you can simply just make connections on those specific pain points and constantly let your sole outcome as the successor to conversions and the finish line.